Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell, baby, so you're notified when new videos drop. So if you asked me on Saturday this week, just go back in time till Saturday, if you asked me then, would you enjoy a fungal zombie apocalypse show? I'm like, maybe. Where most of it is a gay love story starring Nick Offerman, right? The bloke from the Parks and Rec. Yeah, everybody likes a bit of Nick Offerman. Would you? Is he gay? I have no idea. If he's not, bloody good actor. I would say, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Are you? No, of course not. It sounds like woke garbage. I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form. And then I saw it, and I was like, bloody hell, that was good. And it was good. So look. My premise, right? My central thesis right now is essentially the culture war's over. The culture war is won. It's that doesn't mean everything is going to be great from here on in. No, things are still going to be garbage, occasionally, but nothing is going to try and coast on being. I mean, not nothing. Most things, the age of it being okay to coast on identity is over, right? That's really what's going on. That doesn't mean there won't be representation. There will be representation, but there always was, right? No one ever had a problem with that. What we had a problem with was the insane over-representation and representation being used as a replacement for character or for plot, right? So, this episode, The Last of Us, really shocked me because I really liked it. Didn't see it coming. Thought it was really, really, really fantastic. I am genuinely impressed with the craftsmanship in making this episode. I will be amazed, absolutely amazed, if Nick Offerman isn't nominated for a Grammy or not Grammy, Emmy or whatever it is they're nominated for. Standout performance, really standout performance, and I said this in another video I recorded today, that they did, because I'm referencing this a lot, because I think this is what we're going to see in the future. We're going to see representation in good genre drama, which is what we got, right? It's absolutely what we got, and I think that the fundamental difference is this, that if something's woke, which I think is, when I say woke, I mean, in terms of entertainment, you're taking some existing franchise with a strong fan base and using it as a platform to project a worldview, an ideology, propaganda, in other words. That's what being woke is in entertainment. And so normally, like when if it's something woke, you would have a LGBTQ plus AI character, right? Whatever the acronym is now, right? And that would be the entirety of the definition of that character, right? There's nothing else about that character. If you've ever seen the excruciating gay Superman comic book, I mean, it's just excruciating. It's so bad. His only character is that he's gay, right? Son of Kal. It's the only character trait that he's gay, and that's an ongoing. If you watch something like Watchmen, HBO's Watchmen. The only character trait of black people were either being suffering saints or, it's like they're very one-dimensional characters with no interest in them whatsoever. This is not the case in this episode. Absolutely not. I mean, we're introduced to Nick Offerman's character, Bill, and you build up this whole character before you move into him being gay, right? And so that made him a character who's gay rather than an LGBTQIA plus character, right? Which is so different, right? It's so different. Same with his the bloke who was his lover. I have no idea who played him, but it was the authenticity of their relationship. I've been married for a long time. I've been with my wife well over 20 years, right? And you develop a kind of like body language, a way of living with each other if you've been with each other for that length of time. And it's based on genuinely caring about them and putting their needs before yours when in all things. So I got that feeling from this couple, right? And I Why? Look, I'm a Bible thumper, so I'm not on board with suicide either, which was another big part of this episode. I figure in a zombie apocalypse, all bets are off though. At that point, right? When everybody's dead, all bets are off. So anyway, this is a strong recommend from me, right? This is a very, very strong recommend. I cried, okay? I absolutely cried at the end because it was. Again, through the power of Nick Offerman's performance. And it's so powerful because I relate to that. I couldn't help but put myself in his position if my wife was in the position of his spouse, right? I saw myself in it, right? I saw the authenticity in it. I think it did an absolutely fantastic job. But the thing is, I don't want genre to just be gay romances, right? Just be black, just be let's have everybody represented. I am totally on board with that. That's why I'm on board with this. If you didn't like it, let me know. Right? If you don't, a lot of people in the chat didn't like it. They're like, "Well, the story didn't move forward." No, it wasn't a plot-driven episode, right? It was not a plot-driven episode. It was a world-building episode, and a very, very, very good one at that. I think, so I liked it, right? So if you haven't got the hint, yeah, I definitely liked it. Fine. I did this review last night, but it's been a bit of a cultural digest, so I'm putting this video out today. Like, share, subscribe. Could you do all that stuff? That'd be really, really helpful. Especially subscribe. That really genuinely helps me. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. What else? Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you've been thinking. I have a link to my Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook, and Substack, my email newsletter, all in the video links. Could you follow me on everything? Especially sign up for my Substack, which is, may I say, awesome. Super duper awesome. So sign up my Substack. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. I think we covered everything. Now, let me hand over to me from last night. Let us talk about The Last of Us, right? Was this Here's the thing. I don't think this should be a very special episode of Last of Us. It was a nice, interesting, romantic story, right? It was a sweet romantic story. Unexpectedly out of nowhere, right? You didn't expect it to be a tearjerker romantic, but I didn't expect that when I saw Titanic either, quite frankly, right? But the way they developed it and the way they developed the central relationship in this is very, very genuine, right? The affection that Nick Offerman's character had with whoever the other guy was very genuine, right? There was a very genuine couple. It gets into suicide, which I am very, very against, but I think in the face of a planetary apocalypse, all bets are off, right? All bets are off. So it starts off, we have the titles. I do like the titles. It makes you kind of creep. You think of fungus. Ooh, don't like fungus. No. So it starts off, okay, yeah, so what's his name? Has been killed. His girl. You don't know how long it's been his girlfriend, but you do find out in this episode. Anatol from Fringe has been killed. So they make monuments, I guess, like that. It says 10 miles west of Boston, right? And she is the worst part of the show, which is a real problem because she's an integral part of the show. But she is the weakest link in this show, right? I don't like her Ellie, right? The other Ellie, the Ellie in the game was sweet, and you cared about her. This Ellie's a bit cunty, right? So he's grieving over his girlfriend, wife lost, and not speaking, right? And he's just like, don't say sorry, right? Don't talk about it. Don't say sorry. And he's like, I wasn't going to say sorry. I'm saying it wasn't my fault. Right? Yeah, it wasn't my fault. It's just weakest part. So then we get some traditional zombie show walking in forest. He stashed his backup gear in this place. I guess this is what I guess they're gonna have spots like in the game where you can refill. She goes exploring and finds a cellar. You're like, don't go in the cellar. No. And he's like, everything's been picked over. You won't find anything. So she goes, and she finds Tampax. And he's like, yay, I found Tampax. And then she hears, and then, of course, there's a zombie there, but it's caught in a cave and it can't get out. And so she's kind of fascinated with it. He's found his gear. And she has this really weird scene where she cuts its head open and looks at the fungus in it before she kills it, right? Then she comes up and said, yeah, let's go. And they do more walking. They see a crashed plane. And again, you get a nice insight into the world. She's like, oh, man, planes were so cool. Have you ever been on one? She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. It's like, it's cool that you flew, right? It's like it's boring. It wasn't that good. Anyway, so then we get into the meat of the show. And all that she talks about like what happened when the zombies took over. And he's like, went down Friday night. By Monday, everything was gone. Basically, I kind of get that feeling, right? So they find like this these bones, and he says, "Yeah, what happened is they took people to quarantine zones. If they had room, they didn't have room, they'll just kill them, right?" And so she sees the bones left here, like suitcases and teddy bears. So nice writing direction here. You see this woman's dress, and then goes back to her in 2003 with a baby. Really? Did we see like the baby? Oh yeah, we do. Oh really? Oh man, that's a bit grim. So they're being evacuated. Meanwhile, in the cellar is Nick Offerman. He's a survivalist. He sees everybody going. Off they go. Mandatory evacuation notice. Right. After he's gone, he comes out of his secret hiding place and checks around, makes sure was going to say, hey! So he goes and gets all the stuff, fills up all these barrels of gas, and he like fortifies as he kept picking up supplies, the electric goes out. I was like, whoa, that was quick. I thought that would be take longer, but no, electricity went out. And he just goes around looting all the supplies he needs, and he gets a generator, and he fences off his little area of life, and he has puts traps up everywhere, grows his vegetables, he's got this meat there. And he's like, yeah, look, he's eating steak, right? He's doing very, very well, right? And then, if any zombie comes up, they get caught in one of his traps, and he goes, boom, blows his head off, and he was like, never gets old, right? So this is 4 years later, right? And he's been left alone. He set up this thing, nobody can get in there. Then he hears somebody falls into something's falling into the trap. He figures the zombie goes out, and we see the point of the episode. This guy said, "Look, I'm not infected, right?" And so he gives him a ladder, lets him out, and he's got like the thing to check he's not infected. He said, "Okay, you want to go to Boston? It's that direction. You can get it's like a day's walk." And he's like, "Look, do you have anything to eat? I haven't eaten in 4 days." He's like, if I say yes to you, I'm going to have to say yes to every bum who comes. You're going to tell people, and every bum will be at my door. Right? So I won't tell anybody. Really, I genuinely won't. I'm starving. You got something to eat? So fine. He lets him in. He lets him have the shower. So this first time in 4 years, probably, he's had a hot shower. He's like, oh, so good. Can I go back to 5 minutes? And he's like sitting to eat, and he's looking around like, this is insane. This is crazy. And he brings out the food, and he does this thing when he puts the food. He must be those kind of gourmet. He puts food down and he turns the plate so it's in the right direction, right, for the dish. And he sits and he eats it. And apparently it's rabbit. I've never had rabbit. I have to tell you, one of the things I never had before I became religious, a black pudding. I wish I had black pudding. Right, I've never had black pudding. So it's like, oh my god, it's insane. I like the way he pours the wine as well, like very like he knows what he's doing, right? He absolutely he's like, this is like, the right wine to go with rabbit, and it's incredible. So he goes and he sees he's got this piano. He asks if he can play it, right? And he plays a song for his mother, and it's like too much. He can't. Yeah, he can't. He has a bit of a breakdown. Black pudding, disgusting, says TARDIS Time. I would like to just try it. Right? I tried everything I could, but so he's like, look, I play as well. So he has this song about this girl that he loves, and it says, who was this girl he loves? Says there was never a girl. He says, and they realize, yes, it was gay. It was their gay romance. It seems very organic, right? It seems lots of kissing this episode, but it seems very. I mean, is Nick Offerman gay? Because boy, does he bring it in this episode, right? It doesn't seem like forced at all. It seems genuine. If the stuff that I know that is real, the stuff I've experienced, the long-term relationship, that was very well observed. So this is probably equally. So then they go to have sex, and he's like comes in and he says, then there's a lot of body on body action. Yeah, it's a very gay story. He said, listen, I'm not a whore. If we're going to do this, I'm going to stay for a few more days, right? Basically, that's the plan. And then he goes to blow him. Next thing, 3 years later, must have been a good blowjob, right? And they're having a bit of a row. He's like, okay, look, I want paint. I want to fix up the fence over there. This is my street too. I want you to get me some supplies so I can fix the store. The boutique. It's like I want this to look nice, right? And when he first there, he was like looking at the dust, and you can see they're very different people, right? They're very different people that kind of connect, and it just feels very, very genuine, right? He said, it's like, fine, I'll get this for you. He said, and we're also going to have friends. He says, what? He said, yeah, I've met people on the radio. I'm inviting them for lunch. He's like, no, what? No, that's not happening. And it's happened. And he's holding a gun through the whole thing. He's not happy, right? And it's younger Pascal, and Anatol, right? Anatol's in it there. I'm glad we see them in flashback, right? So it looks like they will have more of an official position at that time, somehow, right? I don't know. I don't know why, but they say, listen, we can trade. It's like, look, we're self-sufficient, right? And you can basically he's like, look, he can tell he's not happy. He says, but get the cut out of your face. He says, listen, we don't need anything. Look, your fence over there, that's got a year maximum. I got 3 bells of whatever it is, this thing that'll last 100 years. Right, so we can make trades, right? And they're all powy. They're very, very happy to be together. He says, listen, you're going to need to ask us help from one time because the raiders are going to come. There's going to be a lot of them. They're going to have guns, right? And your fence won't stop them, right? So 3 years later, they're jogging, and Nick Offerman's nearly dead. He's like, he said, no, I got a surprise for you, right? I got a surprise. And he said, what the hell? And he's got strawberries, right? They got seeds for strawberries, right? Again, this is an absolutely genuine, lovely scene, right? It's like, because they haven't, this must have been how many years now? It was 6 years without a strawberry, like, after civilization ended. And his reaction is giggling. It's like, I forgot how these things incredible these things were, right? And it's like, look, I'm sorry, I got older before you. It's like that, and again, this is a very genuine, touching love. It's not. It's at this point, it's not sexual. Obviously, they have sex, but it's a genuine love story. Right, of these two people, and they've been together, and he never expected it, right? And you can tell he never expected it, and you can tell that Nick Offerman never expected it. And you can tell his life's been opened up by whoever the other bloke is, right? And lots of kissing. Then one night, then he wakes up, right, and these raiders come. Very, very cool scene. Right, just as I said, raiders are coming, bunch of them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 10, 15 of them. They go there, but they set off the trips, and suddenly these sparky things start happening, and then which starts the gas, and flamethrowers start like blowing them alive. Right, they're all like these defenses, like they're all on flames and like running into the fence and being electrocuted. He finds his gun, and he goes to see what's happening. He says, "Get inside!" And you see these people being burnt to death as they tried, they get getting caught in the traps, right? And he gets shot because he's distracted. And he's like, listen. His boyfriend's like, going to try and take the bullet. I said, listen, the fence will hold them off, and the traps will kill them. Don't. But you have to call Joel. Joel, you can't be on your own. You have to call Joel. Right, so he must have had like quite a close relationship with him now. That he respects him enough to tell him to call Joel. And it's like, and he's pouring out alcohol over it to sterilize it, and then he passes out, and you're like, well, he probably didn't survive that, right? He must be dead by now, right? So then it's 10 years later, right? And obviously he did survive, right? And but now the boyfriend has Parkinson's or something, I don't know, and he's been drawing and painting a lot, right? But he's lost control of his body, and it's they're an old couple, right? They're an old couple. They've been together 20 years now, right? This scene was so genuine when it helped him into bed, right? This is, and he like this little peck on his cheek. Good night. I relate to that, right? I relate to that. It's if you are lucky to have lucky enough to have a long-term relationship, it's like that. And Tim Paul made a very, 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 very good point, right? It was that there was a thing on TikTok where saying reasons not to have a baby, and it was like, or not to destroy your life, and it was like there's all this push to not have kids, not connect with people. And look, the advantage of having kids and the advantage of having lifelong relationships is that one day we will all die, right? One day we'll all die. You're either going to be all alone, right? You'll be, you'll be scared, and you'll call the nurse, and she'll just give you more morphine, and you'll start to pass out, and that's how you die. And the other way is you'll be, be with your loved ones, right? So that's the advantage of this. So anyway, so he wakes up in the morning and he's already dressed. He's like, well, how do you do this? It took me all night. I have a very good, strong plan for today. So it's like, and basically says, look, today is going to be my last day, right? He's got Parkinson's or something. He says, but what if a doctor comes? He says they couldn't cure this before the the zombie apocalypse, right? This is just an incredible scene. I mean, like Nick Offerman. He's this is award bait, but it's so genuine, right? It's so absolutely genuine. Said, look, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the boutique. You're gonna wear whatever I tell you. We're gonna pick out an outfit. We're gonna get married. You're gonna make me the best dinner ever. And then we're going to have wine, and you're going to put these tablets in it, and I'm going to die. And you're going to take me to bed, and I'm going to die in your arms. And it's like, there's no point, there's no world anymore. I can't function. And like, I'm not pro-suicide, but I think when there's a zombie apocalypse and everybody's dead, all bets might be off, right? I mean, that's where I am, right? But it's, again, so well delivered by Nick Offerman, right? Because he knows he's right? He knows he's right, and he knows he's got the right to choose, right? It's like really, his ethos. So again, they have the day, they get married. Beauty, it really is. It's beautiful. And at this point, you're not seeing a gay drama. You're seeing two people connect, two people kiss. Right, it's this is representation done right, because they're not gay characters, they're characters that are gay, right? That it makes such a fundamental difference. So he makes them dinner, and just like first night, he puts the plate down, he turns it so it's presented right, and they have a perfect dinner together. And then after dinner they drink. He has the wine. He puts the tablets in it, mixes up, and he drinks it. He says, is there enough in there to kill me? He says, oh sure. I said, well, wasn't there already stuff in the bottle? He says, yeah, there was enough to kill 2 horses, right? So he drinks his. Oh no, first he drinks his, and he says, there's enough to kill 2 horses. He's like, but I mean, like, I don't approve of it, right? This is my choice. I stayed alive for you. I stayed alive. My purpose was to help you, protect you. Well, again, there's no world anymore. Once he's gone, what are you living for at this point, right? And I'm not pro-suicide, right? I hate that I'm agreeing with a suicidal position. But, I hear it. I do hear it. So they both die together. Like they go to bed and they die together. Then, so this is, was it Ellie and Joel turn up. He's got the code to get him, and no one's there, right? It's all weird. He looks around, the food's there. Can't have been that long, right? Hasn't been that long. Looks like a few weeks, maybe, if that, a week. I don't know, not that long. So she's looking around. He tries the bedroom, but the door's locked, right? And there's a note left for him. So Joel or whoever. This is the key to the car. The code is to the bunker is the same as to the door. Take the weapons, use everything. Everything of mine belongs to you. Use them to keep Tess safe. So again, that he'd been with her for at least 15 years, right? It's and he's like, he's lost another person, and he goes to check the car. It's everything. It basically, he's powering up. He's getting everything he could possibly need, and said, listen, if I'm going to take you, look, I'm going to go and find my brother. He's in trouble. He knows the fireflies. They may be able to get to this lab or whatever. But you come with me. You have to do what I say, do what I say. What I say goes. And she wants to go, but he says no. So they grab toilet paper. Right? And they basically power up everything. She finds a gun and stashes it. And she's never been in a car before, right? She's super excited. And off they go. And as you see them drive away, you see the bedroom where the two dead lovers are, right? I think it was a very, very powerful episode. It was a fantastic episode of. I was moved by it. I thought it was very good. But the chat does not agree with me, right? The chat does not agree. Colin says, so the entire episode was pointless. In terms of plot, yes. So this is something that I learned from learning to love Westworld, which I absolutely adore, right? I know people hated it. I absolutely adore it. Westworld was a show that wasn't afraid to bide its time, to use an episode to not forward the narrative, right? I think this did forward the narrative, right? You got a much stronger idea emotionally of who Joel is through this story, of who Bill is, of who that world is. Right, and it's I think that made and also I think it was, bottom line, it was a compelling hour of TV, an hour 15 minutes of TV. It flew by. I didn't expect it to happen, right? I didn't expect to go, wow, this is incredible, but it did. Right, I was genuinely impressed. So good for them. Is what I say. Good for them. It's I don't think it was pointless. I think the point was to entertain, right? It was, and it's just me for it. Listen, I do like stuff like that. I do like character pieces like that, and I think we'll probably be seeing Nick Offerman again in flashback. But I mean, the character is very, very, very compelling, right? And their life was compelling. It was. I think I wouldn't call it pointless. But listen, if it's all about plot, then yes. Right? I mean, look, I guess they powered up. Right? That's what they did. Now they got a car and a bunch of stuff. Right? That's what happened. To be fair, it sounds as if the main story was very powerful and emotional story, but it doesn't seem to have any real importance to the actual story. Well, I think the story is more the story of the world that they're in. Right? I think it's setting the world. The more we see and understand the world they're in, that is what it is. The plot device of being able to move of her being, this the cure to the virus, or not, hadn't succumbed to the virus, whatever, or the fungus. It's somewhat. I mean, it's irrelevant, but somewhat irrelevant to me, right? That's the same in the game. The game was all about the journey. It really wasn't about getting there. I can't wait for that episode of Doctor Who where they just focus on the daily life of Rose for 15 minutes. It won't be Rose, but they don't. I don't think they'll do that. Doctor Who's a different animal, right? It's a big emotional, romantic juggernaut, right? It's not an adult navel gazing piece like this, which this is, right? I think it is defining itself. What it is. It didn't feel like it was woke baiting, right? It wasn't like saying, look, we're kosher because we're super, super woke, right? I think this was diversity done right. It was about character. It was a character-driven story that worked for me, right? Absolutely worked for me. In fact, the first 10, 15 minutes with Joel and Ellie was reasonably strong too. The whole thing with finding the zombie there, that was pretty good. It was a perfectly serviceable hour of TV. And here's the thing, I wouldn't call it woke. I genuinely wouldn't. I mean, yeah, it was a gay romance, but I wouldn't call it woke. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.